I have a guest with me today that has expertise, knowledge, and wisdom that he wants to share with us today. Without further ado, welcome, Ifeoma.
Thank you, Claudine, for having me here today.
I'm so honored to have you here today, and I know you wear so many hats. You're a mom, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur, a CPA, you are also a licensed financial professional. But today I want to know the Ifeoma behind all those titles, because I believe that beside the titles, the real person inside has a lot of wisdoms and knowledge that he can pass to women who are watching today, who are sitting with us today, and they can learn from your story. Without taking too much, who is Ifeoma at the very core?
Thank you so much. That's a deep question. Of course, my name is Ifeoma Ngwudike, and we tend to define ourselves by what we do, like you rightly said. And yes, I do a lot of things, just like many women like myself. But I think that who I am and who I am becoming is really that person that believes that we are all fearfully and wonderfully made as human beings. I feel very strongly about the dignity of everybody. I feel very strongly about fairness, and I think that everybody really has something good to give. My calling in this space and time of my life is to really help other people on their journey to empowerment, to becoming who they are, and drawing out those gems that they already have within them.
That's great to hear. And speaking of your passion of creating space for women, you founded Prosperra for Women, which has become a such powerful platform for women. What inspired you to create it, and what gaps that were you seeing that made you to think that it was a needed space for women to thrive?
Oh, thank you so much for that question. I'm really excited about Prosperra for Women. It's definitely a space where specifically women of color are allowed to be. I believe that women of color already work so hard. They really do a lot within the community, within their families, yet they feel like some of the spaces are not really meant for them to be successful. So when we come to Prosperra for Women, we are really looking at removing all the fluff and co-creating that space that is going to help us to be who we are truly meant to be as women of color, creating our own solutions to some of the challenges that we face, but also celebrating each and every step of that.
That's great. That's beautiful. And I know your professional background is in finances. Also, you play a big role in helping women financially. As being a CPA and financial professional, how has your financial background shaped the way you empower women that you see and work with?
Absolutely. A lot of us don't get to talk about finances in open. I think some of the technical skills that I have got as a CPA and a licensed finance professional, the people that I sit around, the kind of stories that I hear them telling when it comes to finances has enabled me to understand that it's not just about that, whether it's the trauma that people have gone through with finances, but looking at what is the difference between those that are successful when it comes to finances and those that are not successful. And honestly, I can tell you that one of the things I see is that lack of confidence and clarity, aside from the literacy. When somebody isn't confident, then they are lacking some skills, and that's something I can do something about.
Right. And yet it's not just about the numbers. You're also a storyteller, and you do public speaking. As a TEDx speaker and an author, how do you balance those two worlds, the practical side of finances and also the transformational side of storytelling?
That's yes, I always say it's the story behind the numbers. I think that every number tells a story, even something as simple as our age. tells the story. For me, how do I strike that balance in the work that I do when it comes to finances and the storytelling aspect of my life? People are real. We are human beings. And so when I look at people's finances, when we're talking things like budget, right, it's the what. Right, we're just dealing with the what, the fact. This is just the numbers. The story is really trying to understand the why. Why do you want to make sure that you have a better financial future? Because talking about the what is not gonna get you there. That's where the storytelling comes in.
Yeah.
I can share with you one story actually, where I was working with a woman, right? And this woman, she already was doing a lot of things, doing all the right things. You know how we do all the open this account, do this, invest here and there, but she's not seeing any results. And that's really when I started working with her. That was because it just felt very transactional. She didn't know why she was doing all the things she was told to do. And so just by sitting down and trying to understand, why are you doing all of these things? What is your goal? Right? And how can we get you to your goal? Because maybe some of these things are taking you away from getting the results that you want to get. And that was how we're able to move her forward. It's really the story behind the numbers that makes the world go round.
And you know what? That balance is something that so many women crave, but sometimes they struggle to find that. And as a professional, a mother and a wife and an entrepreneur, how do you personally that navigate those roles and without losing yourself in the process?
Oh my gosh, there's so much in that question. How do you not lose yourself when you have all of these hats that you wear? And sometimes you gotta wear all of them at the same time, right? And I don't think my story is different from the story of many women. We do wear multiple hats. But I think in terms of balance, can there ever be a balance? I don't know. Part of what I do for myself is understanding that there are seasons in my life. And so if the season I'm in this time is demanding more from my family because say my children are younger, then I need to focus on that season and be okay, give myself permission that the other things can rest. But also, I think one thing that helps to make sure that there is no overwhelm and having that kind of sense of control is going back again to understanding, can I build something around the lifestyle that I'm currently in right now, because that would align pretty much with my value. If I do an audit and I'm saying that my family is important to me and everything I'm doing is not about my family, I have a problem with that, because that's why I'm probably not feeling good.
And on that note of being a mother, how has being a mother had influenced you in your role of leadership and entrepreneurship journey?
I know there's no manual, right, to motherhood, but I think it's truly an honor and a blessing to have that position where you build other human beings. And that's, for me, it's one of the roles of being a mother with 4 children, all different individuals. But I got to learn these people and I want to be able to build them and also help them to have a legacy. When I bring that to my work, whether it's when I'm working in corporate or in my business or in the community, the relationships I have with people, I come with that resiliency, that patience, because you're going to be tried, right? The relationships are what they are. I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. But really thinking, how can I support in building those individuals to be their best? Be the best version of themselves. We will all fall, but we all rise again and rise together. Will I be there to help them? But also it is something that when we think of legacy, hopefully that my crossing path with that individual is something that is going to impact other people in a positive way.
That's great. And on top of that, as a woman of color, especially in the professional settings and in entrepreneurial journey, I know that it has not always been inclusive. So what challenges have you faced and how have you learned to rise above them?
Oh my goodness, how much time do we have? I am really very passionate about advocating for women of color, just like you rightly said. I know that in places and spaces where we find ourselves as women of color, people tend to neglect the value that we bring, and the value we bring is so solid. It's gold, really. People don't know that. And sometimes we forget ourselves because we've been through a lot, right? And we have to almost prove ourselves all of the time. I've faced challenges where nobody's hearing my voice or listening to my voice, and then the next person beside me repeats exactly the same thing that I have said, and it's like, oh, that's when people begin to listen. I've learned to take back my power because it is mine. I've learned to use my experience because nobody can replicate my experience. It is my superpower. But as I've also learned to mentor other women, to teach other women of color that you already got what you need. You just need to know how to position yourself, and you should not in any way, form or manner let yourself be told otherwise, because you really got that space. It's not just about bringing yourself and taking a seat at the table. It's like having the voice, not just be a voice, that voice around the table, because that's what makes us stand apart as women of color.
Can you share a moment where things didn't go as planned? And how did you overcome it?
Oh, there's so many moments where things didn't go as planned. Do things ever go as planned? That's also something I've learned from being a mom, right? Because the kids, they teach you that things don't go as planned, right? You can be getting ready for work and somebody is sick. You gotta unpack the entire thing, right? But very recently, as you know, I started off with this new initiative in the financial services space, where I had to step back and really be humbled, right? And know that what I thought I know, I do not know. There were challenges, right? With every business owner, there is challenges with having that up and down, non-stability as when you start a business. It's almost reflecting the stock market in your life. But I think for me, that challenge really reminded me that you don't know it all. You're gonna have to start something, but you already have some skill set. Be open to learning, be open to failing forward. But why am I doing the business that I am doing? Always reminding myself of that, because that's what drives me. There is all of these women, there is my family that cannot be left behind, right?
And for women who struggle with self-doubt, who are listening to us right now, especially if they want to step into leadership or starting something new, but they lack that self-confidence in themselves, what would you tell them?
I think we all have self-doubt at one time or the other. What is really behind the self-doubt? It's a lack of confidence. And why do we lack confidence sometimes? It's not because we don't have the skills, but sometimes it's because we don't know how to do certain things. There's things you can ask me about. I'm sleeping, I wake up, I can tell you. But there's things like you can ask me about, I need to go study to be able to respond to that. Then I don't have no confidence about that. For anybody that is going through a period of self-doubt, hopefully it's not something that they are always going through, because that they need intervention, like the trauma-informed empowerment coaching that I provide. But for anybody that is going through any moments of self-doubt within themselves, I think the first thing they need to understand is that they are actually powerful as a person. And then what is not just the skill set that they need to know, what do they want from life? Have that sense of purpose, and then take it one day at a time, understanding with clarity, this is my purpose and this is the thing that I'm going for today. Today. And the more you do that, the more confident you become.
And this ties beautifully into your platform, Prosperra, because thriving is what women are longing for. And I know Prosperra means thriving, to thrive. And it's such a beautiful concept. For women who feel stuck right now, whether it's financial, emotional, or spiritual obstacle, what first steps would you recommend to them to thrive again?
Oh wow, that is so beautifully put together. I'm so really, when I hear that word Prosperra, it does mean a lot of things for me personally, not just in terms of thriving. There is the abundance, there is the prosperity, there is the professionalism which we all bring to our lives. And so for any woman that is in that place where they are not thriving, right? I think again, one of the first steps, how do you thrive if you have no clarity about where you're going, about what you want to do? It can be very overwhelming, right? It's understanding, sitting down, whether you work with a professional, because sometimes we don't ask ourselves those important questions. We cannot actually ask ourselves those questions. We need to sit down with somebody that is gonna love us and care for us, but tell us the truth and ask us those questions to understand and be very clear on what you want from life. Because what I see is causing some of our problems is that we just want to do everything everybody says. But what do we want to do? What should we be doing? We haven't sat down to get that clarity. The first step is to get some clarity. Who are you becoming? Who do you want to become? And then go from there.
That's great. And looking ahead, what is your biggest vision for Prosperra?
Prosperra for Women, I think our journey has just started. I see a space where not only are women of color beginning to reclaim themselves and their values and use their voices, but they're actually leaving a legacy for people like my daughters who are also coming up. And why should they face the same challenges that we face? Why are they not being celebrated, right? So we should start today to celebrate ourselves, have those resources in place so that those that come after us can climb on our shoulders. So in the next couple of years, I see with Prosperra how locally in Canada, we have supported over 1,000 women of color in whatever pathway that we have put together to support them emotionally, spiritually, mentally as well, and physically, because those are some of the blockages that we have with helping ourselves. And then going from there, of course, it would be amazing to get us to a global space as well, right? And put our voices out there because we need to be heard and seen and impact the world.
That's great.
Thank you.
And one message would you love to leave with women who are watching us right now, who might be tired, maybe even afraid to take that first step forward to their prosperity, but who deeply want to succeed in life and meaningful life, but they're just hesitating?
I would like to encourage any woman who is in a season in their life where they are tired of being tired to understand that it's time for them to get up, take that little first step, because once they get that momentum, there's no stopping back, but they need to get up. But maybe they're in a space where they can't even see themselves getting up. They can't see that little tiny ray of light. I want to encourage them to know that searching deep within them, they have some strength left. They just need to lift that little finger. It's all about movement. You don't need to move the entire body. Lift that little finger and reach out. There is people that can support you and will support you to see the light again. But also understanding that if you're tired, it's okay to take a rest, take a nap, but wake up and keep going. Nourish yourself. Eat the right food that you need to eat for your journey, metaphorically, not like, because if you're tired, it's because you're lacking some nourishment. What could that be? Do you need mentorship? Do you need coaching? Do you need a community? right? Find that nourishment so that you wake up from your nap and be stronger for the journey ahead, because the journey ahead is beautiful. Is it gonna be a bed of roses? No, there is always some thorns. But together we can all get to this place, right, where we live a more fulfilled life. For me, as a Christian, I truly believe in living life fully. Do we always get there? It's a target. We keep working towards it, but we should really live life in abundance. There's really no reason why we shouldn't. Let's work on it.
My last question for you, Ifeoma. Can you answer this question for me? I am the woman I am today because...
No, I think because I'm blessed. I am gifted. I am powerful inside out. And I have the right supports. My family is very supportive. I have the right community that supports me. But also because I believe in giving back. I don't think I was gifted to have it all only for myself. So that's why I am who I am today.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your journey with us today. I hope men who are watching us today, they feel seen in your journey, in your experience, and also know that they can get to wherever they want to go if they put themselves first and believe in themselves and be able to move forward despite the challenges, the barriers. We have all we need in us to get where we are going, and you're that one example that shows that we can get there. And I thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I hope that Ifeoma's stories inspired you, and if you have something to share with us, please put in the comment. We'll get back to you with more wisdoms, more knowledge, and please share with a friend or family that might benefit from this story as well, and we'll keep bringing more knowledge like this and more videos to come. Thank you so much for being here.